Hello mga katribo, I'm Francine Marquez.
And I'm Dinah Ventura.
And welcome to PairFect. So, to our dear viewers, as you can see, we're not in our studio today, but we're here in a very lovely place that you'll see as we go through the show. We're here at the one of the hotels in the first integrated resort here in Clark. And to tell us more about the lovely experience, especially right now that we're in quarantine level 1.
And they just
Yes.
today.
How lucky we are to be here to enjoy and at least go back to our travel revenge goals, Dinah. And here to talk to us and share with us the story of this beautiful hotel is the Director for Sales and Marketing of Swissotel Clark, Mr. Albert Lafuente. Hello, sir.
Good morning. Welcome to Clark. Welcome to the Swissotel.
Yes.
We're happy to have you. No, pleasure's all ours.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like work.
I know,
It's
right?
all relaxation all the way.
I wish it's like that, but
Yes. Yeah,
So,
well,
Mr. Lafuente, how is your year going so far?
how is the year going so far? I mean, I've been here since September, and we've been busy, obviously, trying to open the hotel, make it as as pleasant as comfortable for everybody, especially you. You were one of the first few that have tried the hotel pre-opening, and I hope that your experience was, something that you can talk about to your clients. And we're happy that, it seems that the reviews or the feedback has been very positive so far, and that's good for us. And, as I said earlier, we needed you to give us your feedback because in that way we can also improve on the services.
so, sir, you were here in September.
Yes, I did. I arrived in September.
Tell us more about the property. You said this used to be the location of the convention center of Vidas.
That's correct. I mean, I think the whole place has evolved into this first integrated resort complex, and it is now renamed as Han. It used to be obviously called as Vidas in the past. And when the ownership, I think, tried to rebrand the whole area, then he used his name now. And he has approached global brands to partner with. That's why you have this and the other property right next door. That's correct. And eventually, with us, which you have seen, will undergo a major refurbishment program, maybe after a year from the opening, the grand opening of Swissotel, and it will become another brand under Accor. It will be called the Mercure Clark. And
Yes.
so why Accor? Because I think, as I mentioned, Accor is trying to increase their footprint in the Philippines. And apart from this brand, Swissotel and Mercure, I think their ownership is also discussing with them on managing 2 more properties in New Clark City, which is developing. Yeah.
Busy.
We will be very busy. We are already busy as we are at this time.
How long have you been with the Accor Group, sir, and Swissotel? Well, since it started.
Well, 6 months.
Yes, and Accor Group.
That's, this is my first time to work with Accor, actually. So, I was with the other brands in the past.
So you've always been in the hotel?
Yes. This is the only job I know. I would say, yeah. I've never worked anywhere else or in any other industry. If I might just say.
Can you tell us about how you started?
A little.
Okay, a quick one. Maybe I started actually as a telephone operator. The graveyard shift. This was over 30 years ago. And eventually moved to front office and sales. And yeah, I've been working in sales for so many years now. I would say almost 3 decades, I would say.
That's what I call dedicated service and commitment.
I think hoteliers are like that. Once a hotelier, always a hotelier. Well, that's what we say.
What does your work entail as a sales and marketing?
A lot of things. Obviously, you need to learn or study the market every time that you're assigned in a different location, just like Clark. When I arrived, obviously, I don't know anything about Clark. So you have to depend on a number of people, like your team members. And you need to hire people that would have the proper network already, who knows the lay of the ground, I would say. And from there, you can develop your market. We, obviously, out of experience, we know that at least on the initial research for Clark, Korea is a very important market. We are owned by a Korean company. And apart from that, domestic business is very strong. Manila being our biggest market for domestic business. We are looking, obviously, of expanding the reach to, I would say, the neighboring islands, Cebu, and maybe Mindanao, because there are a lot of opportunities there. Business is growing, and maybe there will be requirements for business trips or family stays in Clark. Clark is evolving as a destination. You know, this is no longer the Clark that you realize in the past after Pinatubo. That's correct. It's opening in April, and I think we'll be very involved. There are only a number of stakeholders in Clark, and it's a very cohesive community, I would say.
With our quarantine eased to alert level 1, what do you think? What's your your insight about how sales would turn out like for
Only
the
good
coming
things,
months?
hopefully. You know, once borders should open already by then, but it has to be reciprocal, because even if we open our borders, I mean, you know, we need other countries to open up as well. Once I would say the quarantine or the quarantine period will be removed in some other countries that we are looking at. Obviously, Singapore has already lifted theirs, and Singapore is a key market that we're trying to tap. Korea soon, I hope. Anyways, their vaccination cards are already accepted in the Philippines, so that's good. But once the borders with Korea, Taiwan, even Malaysia, Japan is a key market for us, and once this geo markets will open up to the Philippines, then we can only say that it will be good for Clark.
Yes,
A lot of it.
of
Yes.
course. And yes, obviously, Swissotel Clark is situated in a very unique resort complex.
It is.
And with regards to us, we've already experienced all the unique amenities and features of this super deluxe hotel.
Thank you.
Can you tell us more about it? Probably starting with this very nice coffee.
Okay,
Espresso.
the history of Swissotel as a company is interesting because it's a marriage of two big brands, or global brands. So we started in 1980. The first hotel opened in Zurich, in Switzerland, and this was owned by Nestle and Swissair. So these are two brands that people recognize, and that's where the company grew. And now we have at least a select 33 hotels globally, but we're part of Accor. Accor has about 4,500 hotels worldwide. And we are also, how should I say this? We are very much embedded in Accor's loyalty program called Accor Live Limitless. So this will provide guests an opportunity to earn points when they stay, or when you stay, and or dine in our outlets. No? So this is one thing that we say is a good base for us, or at least to reach out to the markets that we cannot tap on our own. Yeah, so yeah, the long and short of it is of this story is that Swissotel has always been known to represent the Swiss hospitality. They were one of the first which developed tourism, and it's also reflected in the Philippines. We have a lot of products, good products, multicultural, and the experiences are very immense or very varied. So it is interesting that whilst it's very Swiss, we also reflect it, or we integrate local culture. Yes,
That's great synergy.
it is indeed.
I'd like to know more about the secret marital vitality, but before we let you answer that, we'll just pause for a short.
That's good.
si Sara Duterte. Handa po akong magserbisyo sa ating bayan. Hinihingi ko po ang tulong at suporta ninyo para sa pagka-vice presidente ng ating bansa.
Mga katribu, tara na't makiisa at matuto sa mga public service programs hatid ng Kalingang Katribu. Tuwing Lunes, nandyan ang usapang business na magbibigay tips at inspirasyon sa mga aspiring entrepreneurs kasama si Vernon Velasco. Tuwing Miyerkules, usapang pangkulusugan naman ang tatalakayin ni Miss Cory Quirino sa Health and Wellness. At tuwing Biyernes naman, kung legal advice ang kailangan mo, sagot ka na ng Legal Diaries kasama si Elmer Navarro Manuel at mga guest lawyers. Lahat ng niya mapapanood tuwing alas 3:30 ng hapon sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube. Non-stop showbiz update ba ang hanap nyo? Sagot na yan ang aming Tribune Extra. Balitang entertainment at lifestyle, mapa-local man o international, meron kami niyan. Manood at makichika na kasama si Kim Sancha, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 5 ng hapon sa Tribune News on Q at separate premiere nito ng alas 7:30 ng gabi. Mapapanood sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube. Ang Daily Tribune may digital shows na din. Dahil sa mas lumalaki at mas lumalakas nating tribu, handog sa inyo ng Daily Tribune ang mga programang magbibigay buhay araw-araw. Be informed at mag-good vibes tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Be updated sa news and happenings sa Tribune News on Q. Mas kilalanin pa natin ang mga paborito nyong atleta sa programang The Athletes Tribune. Alamin ang latest entertainment sa programang What's Up. Ma-inspire sa mga kwentong hatid ng PairFect. Search lang ang Daily Tribune sa inyong Facebook at Tribune Now on YouTube. See you there, mga katribu!
Welcome back to PairFect. I'm Dinah Ventura and I'm here with Francine Marquez. So, Albert,
Yes,
tell us about the mantra of Swissotel, vitality.
it is a part of our DNA and it's integrated in everything that we do. Everything that you see in the rooms, the food, the beverages. So a case in point maybe is the atrium downstairs at the lobby. So we're doing a number of things there. We're serving drinks that are botanical-based, plant-based menus. We have a number of,
Life-giving.
that's correct. And we have a number, we will have a suite dedicated to vitality. So we will soon have 6 units of vitality suites. And in this room, it's a suite. You will have your own exercise equipment. Yeah, so that's one thing. It's very, well, the concept is like that. You have the pool, you have the spa, and this one obviously will revitalize people when they go and the available services. The spa though will be ready in Q3, thereabouts, but otherwise there are already a lot of elements of vitality in the hotel, in the food that you eat at the restaurants, not just the all-day dining, but even in in-room dining you will see the expanse or the, how do you call this, the wealth of elements that we have in the food offer.
It's good for wellness.
It is, yes. Obviously, Clark is a destination for wellness, and it's one of very few destinations that I know that would have extensive biking and jogging lanes within the city. And I think they have won awards in the past. They have continued to develop activities or facilities that actually promotes well-being amongst the community members.
This contained experience of wellness within the street, do you think it's part of our imagination of the way people are now traveling after
Correct. I think so because I would say that after being holed up in your houses, in your rooms for quite some time, you know what is out there. You need to, I would say, travel with confidence, with peace of mind, and only when you do this, in areas or in locations, destinations that you think are safe, that you will feel, that you will enjoy your holiday. Unlike in the past, maybe, well, the Filipinos are used to doing a lot of these short holidays, 2 days, 3 days, been there. Yeah, staycations. But now I think we've seen trends that Filipinos are not staying longer in a destination. So maybe because they wanted to enjoy and or explore the culture and not just like go there, take photos, post on social media, and that's it. So I think it has evolved, and I would say that this has been triggered by the past experiences that we have. Yes, there is smell the roses, whatever that
And
word is.
Albert, now that the hotel is open, obviously the sales and marketing team will be very busy. Tell us more about your leadership style, your work style.
I don't know how to say this. I walk the talk. Whatever I want for my colleagues or the team members to do, I will show them how it's done. Basically, so I lead at the front. I would say both, because sometimes you need to step back and look at how the team is doing, and then you move at the front, and then maybe show them some more on how things should be done, especially with the client or the relationship building. It's not just saying hello. I think you need to do a lot of follow-throughs after that, and understanding of the product, because Swissotel is new, and we need to understand what is inside the hotel for us to be able to sell it, to communicate to the market, the right target market for us. The ones that would be the ones that we're trying to get into the hotel, obviously, are those that will be able to appreciate our level of luxury, the uniqueness of the property, and those who are very much into wellness. There are a lot of things that we can offer. Those that would appreciate good food, because we have about 10 restaurants and F&B outlets in the hotel. We already operate 3 currently inside the casino, and we have 3 more in the hotel. There are a lot more opening soon, like the Italian restaurant is maybe coming online by the 3rd quarter or 2nd quarter. So I would say that the Swissôtel actually is the wining and dining capital of Pampanga or Central Luzon, for that matter. It's the culinary capital of the Philippines, as they say.
Aside from that, I think a lot has to be said also about the artistry of our Pampangan craftsmen,
That's correct.
which I noticed in the hotel also.
You have a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a lot of elements of the artisans in Pampanga. A lot of this wooden, not sculpture because we don't have anything, but all this new furniture that you see, these are all handcrafted locally. And at the front desk, the reception, if you notice, we have these circles, the ones on your mugs. So we have this at the reception as well. So each of the destinations would have their own Swiss circle. But if you look at our reception desk, the rightmost circle represents Pampanga. So you will have everything that you know of Pampanga, Mount Pinatubo. You have the Salakot, which is, I think, the emblem of Clark. And then you have, in the past, we used to host this hot air balloon festival. So the balloon is there. The food, the culinary aspect of Pampanga is represented, and so on and so forth. It is, how should I say, a good representation of the destination. So that's the roots that we're looking at as far as this hotel is concerned. We need to connect with the local, the local culture. I would say.
And I think it's the best of both worlds. We're looking at beautiful cups from Switzerland, Swiss?
Yes.
These cups, can you tell us more? What about the synergy in terms of the Swiss way of coffee, Swiss side of it?
We are innately hospitable. The Filipinos were known worldwide as the most hospitable people, I would say. But we have been learning a lot also from Switzerland, or the Swiss hospitality. As I mentioned earlier, they're one of the first that developed tourism as an industry, and we have adopted that, and I think we have been successful. And by integrating local culture, or integrating our values into it, so that makes it unique, for the hotel and for the destination. But yeah, going back to the cups. What did you say that? Did you ask me that? Sorry.
Yes, yes, you did. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we are embedded culturally in Pampanga. While we are a European brand, but we have been trying our best to exhibit what is good and best in Pampanga.
So, Albert, you're from Cebu, right?
I am.
And you've been in the hotel industry for 33 years and obviously you've traveled a lot. So, what can you tell us about learning new cultures and bringing that into your work?
Well, that's rather challenging actually, but most of the assignments that I've had, I think the past 13 years, I've been working outside of the country, except for the 3 years that I was back in Cebu with another global brand. So what is maybe important to know is that it's basically valuing the people, respecting them, because when you work with people, there are different values that they have culturally, and even in some aspects when I was starting or when I was working in Vietnam, it was different because people at the time, this was 10 years ago, they're better understood when they write their message or when they communicate in writing rather than the spoken English, because at that time they were still learning. Yeah, so this was 10 years ago, but now Vietnam has actually grown and evolved so much that I think a lot of local talents are already taking over the expats jobs. And I would say, yeah, respect for the culture and understanding the destination, because you will not be able to sell a hotel if you don't know what the destination can offer. And that is always true everywhere, anywhere you go.
Well, they always say that there's a saying that goes na look at any hotel and most likely there's a Filipino, so there's enough for world domination.
Exactly. I agree completely.
Would you agree that Filipinos are among the best hoteliers?
I would say yes. As I said earlier, we're the most hospitable, and I think the whole Philippines is like that. No matter what economic status we have, we've always been very hospitable to people.
Efficient and resilient, I think.
That's correct. And we're always the last to leave. Those who would volunteer for overtime work, obviously, the Filipinos. Correct. No, because if you work in other parts of say in Asia, this have not worked somewhere else, but people would tend to, especially, how would I say, those, this is not sexist anyway, but in other parts of Asia, the women have to go home on time because obviously they need to.
They're also mothers.
They're also mothers, and that we understand. So when you work there in this scenario, then you need to be ready to take over the job that maybe is still incomplete. For people to be able to go back to their families.
I'm just curious, a sales and marketing director, or maybe for the other posts that we had, what are the most challenging demands of guests?
It's different.
Yes.
For guests.
Guests.
We don't usually deal with guests directly.
Or maybe from your clients.
Maybe clients. Well, the most interesting and maybe was most beneficial to my previous company was a client from the UK who insisted on buying the whole resort out for 10 nights. Wow. It was interesting and challenging because one, obviously you need to cancel the other bookings that were made earlier than them, and it took us a while to do that. But this is a global brand that we also wanted to be associated with, and we need to make things work. And I was working in Vietnam. This was a hotel that has 100 villas.
Oh.
Okay, so
10 nights.
10 nights. And this is the global conference. Well, it's not a conference because that's not really a huge conference venue, but they were just there to enjoy the culture, to explore the culture of Vietnam. Because at that time, Vietnam was new. So that was interesting and that was challenging for us. Correct. Exactly.
And here's where Albert's diplomatic powers come in.
Everyone's, of course, because these people are now paying $800 for and you cannot just tell them, I'm sorry, your booking is cancelled. But that was interesting, and I think it paid well for the company. Mm-hmm.
So, other than during the pandemic, the results that for travel, how do you see travel
Changing.
Yes,
Then-
well, there's always been this buzz about travel or revenge travel. No? I'm not sure it's going to happen. Hopefully it will, but otherwise, whilst it could be happening, but you have to be ready, not just your rooms, but you need to be ready in terms of abiding to the protocols that the government has implemented. Because even if you're not a quarantine hotel, the protocols are still there. And in fact, we are preparing for this hotel's inspection by the Department of Tourism. We are aligned with what they have required hotels to do, right? So it's different now because you need to do a lot of thinking as to what is best for the guest and what's best for the company. Not only, well, obviously you need to balance it with how the staff will be handled or they have to be looked after. And, it's important that both the guests and the clients would be safe. Right?
Well, Albert, we want to find out more about Swissotel Clark. But for now, to our dear viewers, the best way to find out is to come here at
Yes.
Swissotel Clark and experience it. And yes, on that note, Albert, surely we'll be seeing you again. But meantime, can you give us some parting shots? Maybe invite the audience.
Yes, thank you. It's nice to be featured in this show, and I know they'll be able to reach out to a number of potential visitors to Clark, not just to the hotel, because Clark as a destination has become so important to Manila. It's a driving destination. It's very close, and I'm sure there are a lot of options, but we'll be happy to have you at the Swissotel. We're new, or very brand new, I would say. All the facilities may not be available at this time, but we're slowly opening up all these facilities. And, a number of our guests that have stayed with us the past 2 days have been giving us very good feedback. And we'll be happy to have you.
So there you have it. Thank you, Mr. Albert Lafuente, for joining us today on PairFect. And to our dear people viewers, watch fresh episodes of PairFect every Wednesday, 2 p.m. at the Facebook page of Daily Tribune and on Tribune Now on YouTube.
This has been Dinah Ventura.
And Francine Marquez. And this has been PairFect.
Alamin ang latest entertainment at sa mga paborito niyong celebrities kasama si Pocholo Concepcion sa programang WhatsApp. Makibanding at kwentuhan kasama ang mga kilalang personalidad sa entertainment industry. Sama-sama natin silang kilalanin at silipin ang makulay nilang mundo every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Kaya sit back and relax lang kayo mga katribu. Hanapin at ilike ang Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube. Dahil sagot na namin ang masayang kwentuhan dito lang sa WhatsApp. fun and inspiring na kwentuhan? Sagot na yan ang programang Spotlight ng Daily Tribune. Makipagkwentuhan at kilalanin ng iba't ibang personalidad na kilala sa kani-kanilang larangan. Manood at makinig sa mga inspiring stories na kanilang ibabahagi kasama si Dinah Ventura at Jojo Silvestre. Be ready ng mamangha at matuwa every Thursday alas 2 ng hapon dito lang sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube. Mapalutong bahay man o sumptuous meal for special occasions, sagot na kayo ng tropang Kalanpag. Dahil atid sa inyo ng Daily Tribune ang fun and exciting cooking show na Kalanpag, manood at matuto kung paano lutuin ang mga favorite nyong recipes. Sabayan pa ng fun and inspiring na kwentuhan sa kusina. I-upgrade na rin natin ang mga nakasanayang traditional dish ng pamilya. Plus, healthy tipid tips na ibabahagi ng tropang Kalanpag. Matuto, mabusog at ma-good vibes dito lang sa Kalanpag tuwing Lunes, 10:30 AM sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube.